Hi, this is Chloe Ella,
Gabby Mathis,
and Amelia Margupis.
Our video will explain America's choice in government,
and more specifically, why we do not have a monarchy.
We hope you enjoy.
Go.
The little-known story of the European prince. After the Revolutionary War, the veterans had a dysfunctional anarchy. The veterans rebelled under Daniel Shays because the government didn't have any money to pay them. The executives were determined to regain power and control. However, the most familiar way was a monarchy. Nathaniel Gorham wrote on behalf of the government to Prince Henry of Prussia. Prince Henry was an extremely talented commander, and he was named colonel at only 14. Henry would have been head of the constitutional monarchy that the colonies fought so hard to overthrow. Henry's reply was indeed to decline. He could not understand why our colonies would want a king after all they just did to rebel under Great Britain's King George III. He didn't believe that our 13 colonies would readily submit a new one. The delegates assembled in Philadelphia to find other ways to gain power and control other than a monarchy. This is where the U.S. Constitution forms. Washington was called back from retirement and offered the first chair to the Constitutional Convention, and then offered first place of the President of the United States. Washington could have had the office for life, but Alexander Hamilton disagreed with the presidency for life concept. The idea Hamilton did not like was that you were president for life unless impeached. Meanwhile, John Adams thought him to be addressed as His Majesty. But why would that make any sense after they just fought against Britain's Majesty? Washington had no desire for absolute power, but worried that the future presidents might not have his scruples, meaning he didn't know that they would agree with the amount of power received with the job. The citizens had defeated Britain and George III, and 5 years later giving supreme power to George Washington to organize the new society. Washington took a considerate move and decided he would leave the role of the president after 8 years. George III called Washington the greatest man in the world, for he had so much respect for Washington due to their prior relationship.
Why didn't America have a king or queen? In 1978, America spent 6 years recovering from the Revolutionary War. George Washington was becoming their leader. But what would his title be? How could they go name him king after they fought so hard to revolt one? A debate transformed. Some thought exalted highness, others elective highness chief magistrate, and finally the lengthy, His Highness the President of the United States and Protector of the Liberties. The House of Representatives worried that too grand a title would puff up Washington's power, and the Senate was scared that Washington would be derided by a title too feeble like president. The U.S. Constitution states in Article 1, Section 9, no title of nobility will ever be granted by the United States, meaning there never can be any serious danger that the government will be anything other than of the people. Eventually, the Senate agreed on simplifying His Highness, the President of the United States and Protector of Liberties, to the President of the United States.
Over the course of a week, we have asked multiple teachers 3 questions. The first question we asked was, do you like having a democracy?
The second question we asked was, would you prefer a monarchy?
The last question we asked was, do you like the style of voting?
Hi, this is Gabrielle Mathis, and I'm here with Mr. Goyette. I'm here with Miss Hurl, and I'm here with Mr. Cummins, here with Miss Dasa. And I'm here with Mr. King on the monarchy versus Democracy project. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Do you like having a democracy?
I do. I like having a democracy because I like having a say in who represents us in the government.
I do. The reason why I like having a democracy is because every individual in the country who is a citizen has a say in what goes on in the country. So they have the ability to vote and they have the ability to make a difference in our government.
I would say I like having a democracy. It allows for more people's voices to be heard in the government and allows for a country to be run the way that people would like it.
Democracy?
Yes, I do.
Democracy?
I do.
Like having a democracy?
Yes, I do.
I do like having a democracy.
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because I think everybody's voice is included in the conversation.
Well, I think that it's important that people feel they have some control over how they live their life.
I like having democracy because it gives everybody the opportunity to speak their mind and speak freely about things, and having more ideas brought to the table usually brings out a better outcome.
I like that the people have a say in how the government is run, and in how things should be and that everyone has a voice or should have a voice.
Because I like having the option of having my voice count, being heard, and I wouldn't want to live in a society where I couldn't have some say in how things are run.
Would you prefer monarchy?
I don't think so, no. I would like having a democracy instead because in a monarchy, you don't get to choose who your leaders are.
I would say I wouldn't because of the fact that it eliminates the fact that everybody has a say and only one family really has say in what happens in the country. They are the one that makes all the decisions, and you can't elect your next successor, king or queen.
I would not. I don't respond well when people try and tell me what to do. How about you?
I'm the same way.
Absolutely not. No.
Why?
Because it's not based on anything inherent on anybody's leadership skills. It's based on kind of the lineage of one particular family.
As much as I do love the royal family, I'm okay with a democracy as opposed to a monarchy. But I like the queen.
Why?
I would have to say that my reasons are the same. I don't prefer a monarchy because I like to have my voice heard. And in a monarchy, the king or queen just rules. Queen Elizabeth, though, I just love her. I love all the royals.
I would not prefer a monarchy. A monarchy has very limited checks on the leader's power, whereas our democracy has 3 branches which can check each other and allow for more balanced government.
As much as I like the Queen of England, no. I think we're good with the democracy that we have.
No, I don't think I'd like a monarchy of a king and a queen.
Now, why is that?
Based on everything that Mr. Friedman teaches, I think having one person in power without any involvement with other people's voices, like the common people, I think it just kind of gets messed up.
Do you like the style of voting?
I do. I think that voting is great. I vote every time because it's my constitutional right, and it's your obligation to vote. And there were times in this world that other people couldn't vote. So I think that everybody who has the right to vote and the privilege to vote should go out and express their opinion.
Do you like the style of voting?
The style of voting? I suppose I like the style of voting. I get to vote when elections come up.
I do and I don't. I like the fact that everybody gets the chance to vote, all legal citizens above the age of 18. However, I would like to see it where more of the citizens' vote counts as opposed to just the Electoral College. So I would say I like some parts but dislike some parts.
I do. I think it could be improved upon. I do think that the electoral college has outlived its purpose, and we should have just a direct election for president like we do every other office.
No.
What would you like to change?
The Electoral College needs to be updated.
Well, I tend to forget some of the things when I get there. Like, I'll know the big candidates or the big issues. Then I get into the booth and I can't remember. I never remember to bring myself a cheat sheet. But I do like, how we vote, that we go to our polling place and we go in the little booth and cast our ballot. I like having that option.
Nice.
I think the style of voting is all right, but I think there's too much in our electoral system to disincentivize voters from coming to the polls. So I think there should be some reform in this.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for watching.
We hope you learned a little bit about government
And society. Thanks for watching.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what does it say? Buy your whatever show up.
Enjoyed. Have a great day.
Chloe.
On the count of 3. Ready?
Thank you for watching.
1, 2.
Why I like the queen or why I like a democracy?
Why you prefer monarchy?
Why I don't prefer a monarchy.
Oh, yes, why you don't prefer.
Yeah, you got it. How'd you go? Okay. I'm sure.
Okay.
So, hello. I am Chloe, and you don't care.
Okay, ready?
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed.